It's Open House Thursday on Your View. Welcome to the show. I am Marital Afolabi, and as always, I have the ladies with me. Elijah, Nima, Akashat, Zidiri. How are you today?
I'm fine. Today I just want to plead with Governor Sanwo-Olu to not let Ikobaje. So you see from the Eric Moore end to Orile on the expressway, it's like one heavenly body, a meteor comet, went and plunged into the service lane. That's the way the hole is. Wow. Cannot be natural. But we witness how that hole built over time with water. So, but when you pass there, you can only be in my Imran state of mind. I think it is he's a space. Maybe one spaceship went and landed there. The crater there, and we are exposed to the boys because of it. So once you're getting, the traffic is built up all the way back. The boys come and they are hitting on your glass. You must pay something. You pay one, you can't finish paying others because the hold up is building all the way on the service lane. Please, sir, the engineers did not do a good job on that side of the road. That place is water, it retains water, the drainage.
And rain is just loading.
So now we are at the mercy of the boys. Like this. And then once your car stuck there, you have to pay. I don't have money, does not work.
Okay.
Help us. Let them fix that road and do it well.
Ramatu, how you doing?
I'm fine. So also I want to add around Ogombo Road too. On the potholes there. In fact, if you are not careful, your tire will just leave your car.
Where is that? Ogombo?
Ogombo Road, yes.
Where is that?
Aja. And there's a general mother and child hospital there. So it's really needs to be fixed.
I noticed you do this your things a lot. Like it's normal. It's like every day. I don't think does it once in a while, but you seem to do it pretty often. Because
once I don't do it, no. I have someone that comes to do it. Yes.
You don't do what?
If I don't do it, I feel
you're not complete.
Yeah, somehow. You can stay for up to 2 weeks.
Wow, it's really interesting.
Yes.
Like it's just interesting. Very good.
Yeah. So and again, food stuff so expensive. The kids are coming back very soon, so I've been trying to get Irish potatoes. I went to price these baskets. Yes, I went to price baskets.
They say
12,000. I'm telling you, 12,000. So expensive.
Okay, let me welcome our guest co-host today. She's the fixer, Dr. Tululokwe. Okay, Gary, welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me.
Yes, she's joining us today for the first time as a guest co-host.
Yes.
We're trying to just bring in women who are doing amazing things, just to join the ladies of your view, so that you know that this is your platform also as much as it is ours. So
thank you.
We're grateful to have you.
I'm excited. Yeah.
Topsy, how you doing?
I'm good.
Your jeans are not cut at all.
It's raggedy.
It's not raggedy. It's understatement.
When I'm trying to put my leg inside, my leg will be coming out from different things. Like I did.
So what's the theme today? What is that something you're going?
I'm not going anywhere.
Just denim.
I was looking forward to wear this morning, and I just saw I packed it for the denim on denim. The denim thing in Dubai, and it was folded together like that. I just brought it out and say, let's throw it on. Then Auntie Annie gave me my calabash and covered in gold. So it's light, but like really bulky. And I'm like,
really lovely.
I'm turning out my YK.
Yeah.
So thank you so much, Auntie Annie, for my earring. I'm excited to be on the show. I left the show for one day, and the next thing we have gone back to Oud National Anthem.
Well, I had never in my life heard that national anthem before.
I've heard it before, but
I'm like, where was that?
I think we're just going back.
You're most likely to sing. So I stayed in Parliament for 3 years while in university and I became speaker. I know that anthem, the first stanza well. Because we have to now do like this.
I don't even know. Well, it's a topic everybody's talking about. It's a Nigerian hot topic right now. Something like this.
Why?
Yeah. I don't know. There's so many angles. The angles that the one that was composed by Nigerian we discarded. The one that was composed by a foreign person, we are taking it. The other is saying that one is projects unity, the other doesn't. So there are arguments on both sides. But we'll see. But let's go on a short break. When we come back, we'll look at the front pages of the paper. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.
Okay, we're going to start with the nation. NBA. Judges conduct in Kano a disgrace, says the Nigerian Bar Association. Nigeria, we hail the returns as national anthem. Free ride on Abuja Metro line for 6 months, says Tinubu. Sanwo-Olu deploys 15 high-capacity passenger ferries on waterways. Government, labor, OPS, that's organized private sector, resume new minimum wage negotiation. Okay, let me start with Lagos State. Okay. So you want to start with your NBA view? Yeah, please go ahead. You have the floor.
The NBA president Yakubu Maekiao had the harshest words to describe the conduct of the Kano State High Court as well as the Federal High Court that granted, concurrent judgments in the light of the issues. And he says, let me quickly read what he said here. He said, for a country whose legal resources and expertise have for several decades been exported positively and impacted not only the African continent but the world at large, it is completely unacceptable that the processes of our courts will be deployed in the manner we have witnessed in the last couple of days on a subject matter that is as clear as a chieftaincy dispute. He says the conduct of the counsels, as the lawyers that are involved in handling the processes themselves, are a disgrace, and they expose the entire legal profession of Nigeria to public ridicule and opprobrium. I need to check it out. And he's very embarrassed at the conduct, but the CJN has summoned the chief judge of Kano State, as well as the chief judge of the Federal High Court to his chambers today to discuss.
They were trying to rebuild the integrity of the judiciary. They were trying to market. That's why I keep saying this is renewed hope. It's not everybody that understands renewed hope. They don't understand it. Nobody's renewing. It's only one person that's screaming renewed hope because I don't get it. But let us move on.
I want to see the outcome before I say what I resent.
Let us Lagos State government. Okay. No, Lagos State governor has inaugurated 15 new ferries to boost water transportation on the waterways. In his 5th year in office, Sanwo-Olu, who launched the boats at the Badore Jetty in Ajah, described the ferries as another demonstration of government's commitment to transportation and traffic management, which in its pillar, the themes pillar that many of us know. He says that the 40-seater boats called Omnibus are products of the partnership with the Lagos State government and the LASWA, that's the Lagos State Waterways Authority, and Caverton Marine, a subsidiary of Caverton Aviation. They're locally produced, interestingly, except for the outboard engines. The boats join earlier 22, making a total of 37. So they are made in Nigeria. It's just the engines that were imported, but everything else is Nigerian made. Fantastic. Congratulations to the government, and I hope that Nigeria can use it. You have a story, Dr. Otolu?
You
have a story?
I have something to say.
In Nation? Okay,
no, she didn't get to read the papers.
Okay, so I have the story on the Abuja Rail Mass Transit. As we all know that the train just came into Abuja. And the president went and inaugurated it with him and the FCT minister, Nyesom Wike. And they all rode in the plane as well, in the train, down to I think the airport area and all, and the FCT minister said that okay, that's everybody, they're going to have this free ride for 2 months before he proposed. Then the president now said, please, dear landlord, that is talking to Yeke Wisom and saying that, dear landlord, please, can we extend it for the next 6 months so people can ride free from wherever they are going to in the train? And so he agreed, and so now the train is there for us to ride freely and enjoy free ride. So we want to thank the government for this, at least.
Okay,
so EFCC, the executive chairman of EFCC, that's the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, Mr. Ola Olukoye, is giving account of what has happened between May 29 last year and May 29 this year. Gave us a huge number because people don't know. They say EFCC is not working. EFCC is working. They have secured 3,175 convictions, and they have recovered 156 billion naira in just 1 year. Said that he regrets that there's a lot of young people are involved in financial fraud, in internet fraud, and the development poses major worry to the EFCC because they have zero tolerance. They have a which is why they launched the club, Zero Tolerance Club, at the University of Abuja. And he said, he's speaking through his secretary, Mohammed Amajoda, that the EFCC chairman is seriously against post or recovering a lot of the foreign currencies from suspects. Then they made a list of all the foreign currency they've been able to recover, including cryptocurrency as well. But that many people are not acknowledging it. He's still worried that even though they've done a lot, there's still a lot more to be done. That a lot of young people are involved in this cybercrime, and they hope to clamp down on them. At least this is good. They've recovered money. They've convicted people. I know we're looking for high profile, but at least let's acknowledge the one that.
Okay. The Punch, very quickly. First anniversary, FG plans supplementary budget warns against foreign aid. 50,000 naira grant. Over 402,000 beneficiaries get 20 billion naira. Marital, CJN summons judges over conflicting orders as Kano bans protest. Okay, let's see if we can take one before we go on the break. Yes, yeah.
Major headline: the president yesterday was before the House, and he mentioned that they will be coming very soon with a supplementary budget. Said charting a new path is a question of program for development. I submitted the 2024 budget to you, and you expeditiously passed it. We are working the talk, and I will soon bring the 2024 supplementary appropriation bill, building this nation so that the future of our grandchildren will be filled with prosperity, development, and progress. He says he commended the House. This was after, of course, he had signed the anthem into law, and he commended the House of the lawmakers, for doing their part. He said the question of foreign aid is not something we should even explore. That no foreign aid can give Nigerians the country that they can be proud of. I totally agree. I think we should stop on that and plan within our resources. But then they are going to be working on a supplementary budget, and I hope that this improves the economy at the end of the day.
Okay, so before we go on a break, there was a story we took last week, which I thought the federal government should have had no business getting involved, but the federal government they've sent in delegates to meet the UK universities to avert students' deportation. So the federal government stepped in to address the recent deportation orders issued against some Nigerian students at the Teesside University in the United Kingdom. A delegation led by the representative of the Nigerian embassy in the UK, Ambassador Christian Okeke, along with leaders of the Nigerian Students' Union, went to see the management of the Teesside University. They're trying to see how they can find some kind of resolution to avert the deportation of these students. If you could recall, we took the story last week where some of them had paid 90%, others have paid 75%, and the school is saying because they can't meet the deadline for the balance, they will have to be deported. And they were trying to fight and beg for them not to be deported or handed over to the government for deportation. And the news made the papers. We took it, and many thought that our federal government should get involved and see what they can do. I thought it was personal.
It was personal.
Yeah, but hey, the federal government has sent in a delegation to help see what they can negotiate, help them to negotiate.
For the value of their fees went up with the dollar rise. So it's something that government can see to come in. It's an unexpected hardship.
Let's go on a short break, and we come back and continue with that review. Stay with us, we'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your view will be right back.
The Federal Republic of Nigeria, Benga Daika, the first. OJ right here, 7 of 7, like you already know.
Benga right here, 7 of 7, like I'm beginning to know.
It's now time for the question.
You don't scare me one bit. Bata, I go drink. So.
Okay. So now one chance for Inter. My first question. Do you remember the names of the winners of that edition of StarQuest?
Of course I do.
Why do you?
And I hate myself for this, because I have this question for you. Final question. No. Where outside Nigeria and what year? I think you're the only one that can be wicked.
I am thinking, because I know back in the day.
Don't think. Answer my question quick. You are thinking too much. I don't like it.
The UK.
Final answer. Okay. I said, God, please, let me to perform outside Nigeria.
Wait.
And God gave me a trip, a show in Ghana. Drink, my friend, drink. I don't
overthink this thing. See where I can.
Yes, you overthink them.
I would say you should catwalk.
Let's catwalk now. Where are we?
No, that's not catwalking.
That's good talking.
Thanks for staying with us. We're still reviewing Punch. Dr. Toli, you have a story there? Go ahead, please.
Yeah, 2 remanded for offering bribe to EFCC officials. Operatives of the Ilorin Zonal Command of the Economic and Financial Crime Commissions have arrested 2 suspects, Faleti Wahid and Noah Olalekan, for allegedly offering 1.2 million bribe to officials of the agency to compromise the operatives. Also in his custody are 7 suspects for offering bordering to illegal mining activities. I'm just impressed with the fact that people that are offering bribe are being, arrested, not just those that are
EFCC is working.
So I think I'm glad that this is being, so I'm looking at the environment and I'm thinking, it shouldn't just be those that are taking that should be the people that are giving, so that way maybe even people that are giving bribe on the road and all of that, you can be arrested for doing that. If you are saying don't sell on the road, people that are buying too should also be arrested. So if you are saying don't sell on the road and you are arresting the people that are selling, what about the people that are buying?
Exactly.
So that makes sense to me.
And that story in Punch?
Yeah, so in Ekiti State again, the police command has arrested 2 police officers who killed 2 persons at Ado-Ekiti at the Ekiti State capital. So there was an accident. It involved a Lexus car and a Jinsheng motorcycle. It happened late on Tuesday at the Omisa Jano area of Ado-Ekiti. Sources said that there were witnesses that told Metro Punch about what happened, the pandemonium that happened, and in trying to calm down the accident, stray bullets from the police officers hit 2 persons that were just around the area and resulted in their death. So somebody did not want to be named, but the person saw what happened and said the 2 people were rushed to the hospital, but they died before getting to the medical facility. And they also said that a lot of youths were aggravated by this, saying that the person had just, the vehicle, they are preventing the driver that injured the motorcycle rider from escaping, and then it resulted in 2 people now being dead based on police trying to calm the situation. But they've arrested the police officers, and they said that justice will be brought to play. So I'm happy that the police is inter-regulating itself. EFCC also inter-regulating itself. That's what we need. Yeah. It would also increase the level of trust in our forces.
Okay, Daily Sun very quickly. Insecurity, reps reject engagement of mercenaries. APC, PDP in verbal war over alleged shooting incidents to halt the CVR in Edo. Tinubu signs bill returning old national anthem into law. Okay, so I have our president who yesterday was the biggest story online. So President Bola Ahmed Tinubu has signed the National Anthem Bill 2024, reverting to the old national anthem of the Nigeria We Hail Thee. Senate President Godswill Akpabio announced this yesterday during the joint session of the National Assembly to mark 25 years of the uninterrupted democracy. The joint session sang the new anthem before the arrival of the President and the Vice President Kassim Shettima with other top government officials. If you recall, also our President was supposed to make a speech, but he said he wouldn't make a speech until Democracy Day, June 12th, to give his speech. However, the national anthem was finally signed into law, and we'll be forced. Those of us have no clue. We'll be forced to go and start learning.
My children were like,
my kids came
we'll
home.
not sing this one again.
My kids came home telling me that, announcing to me. I said, don't worry, I should be announcing to you.
Exactly. They are landmark.
And Nigerians,
so they will know both sides. Yes. They will tell this story.
Yeah.
Nigerians have gotten to work. There's Fuji version. There's Juju version.
You're kidding me. Send to me.
I've
been seeing different memes.
I have different headlines.
Major headlines.
So the House of Assembly yesterday, House of Reps. The House of Reps yesterday were, debating on a motion moved by Honorable Ahmed Jaha of Katsina on, the need to engage mercenaries to curb insecurity, the rising insecurity in our country. In his words, Honorable Jaha says, since the security challenges in the country were still lingering despite the efforts of security agencies, it was time the government engaged mercenaries like it did during the administration of President Goodluck Jonathan. Since we are facing insurgency, there's nothing wrong in inviting other countries to our aid. Nigeria is not as powerful and influential as Ukraine or Russia. There's nothing wrong in bringing in mercenaries to clear our land of insecurity. If not, the hunger we faced last year will be worse than next year's. And he said the strategy now is to attack farmers and prevent them from going to their farmlands. He also went on to commend the security agencies, but said they needed assistance. But the immediate past Deputy Speaker of the House, Idris Wase, argued against it completely. He said whether or not government should engage mercenaries was not something that should be discussed publicly. He was of the opinion that it was not an open conversation. So such measures, whether they will be taken or not, were supposed to be discussed privately, codedly as well. He said asking any country to send us mercenaries is an insult. That's from Abbas Adigo. It's an insult to the giant of Africa that we are. I don't agree. Our security agencies can work with retired service chiefs to get this work done. That I agree as well.
Keep doing the same thing and
So we can bring in old service chiefs if they are still of.
We've tried that before now. They've done this before.
So we also need to increase the capacity of our agencies, and then he went further to add that our security agencies should be given the right motivation to encourage them. He said whenever they go out to work to fight banditry or anything, it's 50% chance that they won't come back. What happens to their families? So some of these, their allowances and provisions should be increased to encourage the courage to fight as well.
Okay,
so,
yes.
So I have a story on the 20 billion. That's part of the renewed hope agenda. The federal government 50,000 grants given to 402,283 beneficiaries. So these funds were disbursed through the Ministry of Trade. Through the Ministry of Trade and Investments, they were able to. They said the beneficiaries selected from the 774 local government areas received a direct payment to their bank accounts via their bank verification number. And then they said most of the nano businesses that they gave these monies to are food services, ICT, transportation, creatives and artisans of these 774 local government. And they targeted 70% of women and youth, 10% of people with disabilities, and then 3% of senior citizens, and then 15% distributed to other demographics. And then they said some of the local government, they gave the amounts, the number of people that they gave monies to. Zamfara State have 977, Omala in Kogi State with 921 recipients. It's so long, but they are able to get through to everybody in those 774 local governments.
Okay, Vanguard, very quickly. 1 year in office, my government's walking the talk, says Tinubu. Biafra Day, Mba police move against sit at home. 15 new high-capacity ferries boost Lagos economy, says Sanwo-Olu. Edo Guba, government APC war over attack at voters registration center. Emirship tussle, NBA fumes as CJN summons FHC Kano CJs over conflicting orders. First anniversary. I've kept the faith with my promises, says Oborevore. And I think I have one more story here about the buses. Okay, yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, I have a story. It says Tinubu declares 7-month free train ride as Abuja light rail service takes off. President Bola Tinubu yesterday declared 7-month free train ride for passengers as he performed the presidential flag-off of commercial operations of Phase 1 of Abuja Light Rail Service, also known as Abuja Metro Rail till December. This is goodies for Abuja people and those of us that are going to Abuja too.
Oh, we thought the rush will not be too bad, yeah. We'll see, and the organization.
6 months is a long time.
A long time.
Yeah.
Okay, so the major headline in the Vanguard, the president, of course, while at the House yesterday, joint session of the National Assembly, he says his government is working the talk. He gave himself thumbs up for the 365 days of his first year in office. He also hailed our democracy, which he says is 25 years of unbroken democratic rule, and is asking us that the citizenry should build a nation for the generations unborn. He's also asking us that we must continue to collaborate, work together, and build our country against the backdrop that we do not have another country that we can call our home, and telling us, he also asking us not to take the risk of losing our nation's democracy. And he also sang the national anthem, the new one, the House as well.
All right, so I want to take a bit of good news concerning, not a bit, it's actually really good news from Thailand to the NDLEA. So the charged the affairs deputy head of commission of the Royal Thai Embassy in Nigeria, Mr. Purit something, who was accompanied by the councillor, Mr. Perapol, had a courtesy visit to the chairman of NDLEA, General Muhammad Buba Marwa, and he acknowledged the fact that the good work NDLEA is doing has resulted in a drop in the number of Nigerians in Thai prison. That at a point, Nigerian prisoners in Thailand were about 800, and it was drug-related, and now from 800 to 200. That when he got the good news, he had to share it with NDLEA, that even to give visas in Nigeria now, to give Nigerians visa to come to Thailand, they rate the NDLEA certificates. So apparently there's a certificate the NDLEA issues, a clearance issued by NDLEA to Nigerians, and that the NDLEA work has tightened drug being pushed out of Nigeria to Thailand, which has resulted in less Nigerians being imprisoned in Thailand. Kudos to the NDLEA team for the good work they are doing.
So let me go to Enugu State. So the government there has clarified that it did not declare today as a public holiday for sit-at-home day, as IPOB has done. It is even as Anambra and Imo State Police Command said they have deployed men to offices and schools to counter any threat of lives and property by hoodlums. If you recall, IPOB had declared that May 30th is Biafra Day, and they will sit at home, that everybody was supposed to be home and no economic activities, that there were issues with WASI, which was supposed to be started by the children, and IPOB had advised WASI to postpone, WAEC to postpone the examinations. But the governor had assured that work should go on in the state regardless, because they're going to provide security operatives. However, if you recall, Governor Peter Mba engaged the IPOB sometime last year, I believe, in a similar fisticuff, which resulted in many casualties, including deaths and paralysis of socio-economic activities within the state. So it's a very tricky thing for anybody to allow their child to go out there when IPOB is saying. And if you also recall, many people in the southeast are also clamoring for Biafra Day. So remove IPOB is one side, but the the people in the southeasterners also believe they deserve a day to remember and acknowledge the pains of the war. So Biafra was, so that's one thing. So Biafra Day is probably a legitimate request also, but IPOB keeping that making it look as if the sisters can make it look funny. But I think it's something that is worth looking at, where both sides to see how we can make it less dangerous for these children to be able to do the examination. It's really, really a tough situation.
Governors should come together and agree
and do something.
Exactly.
How they want to drive the Biafra Day course and not let IPOB
hijack it. Hijack. Okay, we have to go on a bit. I think that's all we can take on Front Page Review this morning. It's our Thursday, it's our gisting day. We have a guest co-host in the house, but first we have a guest who's going to come in and share with us some of her. She's Sophia. She actually supported us in our 1-year anniversary. She's going to be here telling us what she's doing and how she's developing her business. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.
founder of Celebration, a businesswoman, and a fashion icon.
I am a wealth coach and a real estate developer.
I am Amako Arakwe. I'm a corporate commercial lawyer and an entrepreneur.
Barkamu da warhaka. I am Ramatu Shehu Oyibo, an entrepreneur and a business coach.
I am the voice of an average Muslim woman, an hijabite, and a lawyer.
I am a polymath and a serial entrepreneur.
I am Murayo Afolabi Brown, Managing Director, TVC Entertainment. I'm a media consultant, producer, and broadcaster.
The ladies of Your View are made of women from different professions, tribes, cultures, and religion. Join us every Monday to Friday as we share our views on topical and social issues.
Welcome to Pure Entertainment. What would you like to order from our menu today? We have the regular.
So let me go and look for my jam. So
my 280 was 320. I suppose don't be one medical.
At this point, I contest my jam.
I want to close the show. I can go. I can. That's all we can take. Ejeki, close the show, you Fadala.
Ladies and gentlemen, number one, Unavailable by Davido featuring Musa Keys.
We also have today's chef special.
Yo, shine, shiny, yeah. So recap done, and it's time for number one on the countdown. One of Nigeria's hottest artists right now, his name is Rema, and this one is called Charm. Kick it.
Another.
For dessert and a bit of nightcap, we have the nighttime and online specials.
I want to start the gym, yeah? But do you know one thing that's actually keeping me back?
You should start the gym to get fat. Cricket.
She says she does pole dancing to empower women.
What's the difference?
There's a difference.
That's what I'm saying.
So pole dancer, you're already almost naked. You're already almost naked.
On the show is a fashion designer, the creative lead designer at the Glam Girls. She's also a real real estate investor and MD at Property Matchmaker Limited. Welcome with us, the Glam Girl herself, Sophia De Joma in the building. How you doing? So for many people, we met Sophia last year. I think it was Tucker that met her at an event.
Right.
Just told her that ladies of your view are having a 10th year anniversary, and she agreed to style us like in seconds. She just agreed, and suddenly she came up with the theme for all the ladies, and we're so grateful for that amazing stuff. Hopefully at some point we'll try to show the pictures for those of you that didn't see it. But how are you doing? How is work?
I'm great. I'm doing well.
And it was your birthday on Saturday.
Yes, it was. Happy birthday. Thank you. Thank you.
Saw your photo shoots. I hope we are going to see the pictures.
I hope so too.
Yeah. So how is the fashion industry? I mean, because it's always a difficult thing when you see all types of styles, and you're wondering, okay, do we have an African style? Do we have what is uniquely ours? We see a lot of styles that seem so foreign. You know how you go for AMVC and in the past, Oscars, people used to sit down and watch how those Oscars, and we used to appreciate how ours was decent, but now people are just like the Oscars.
Okay.
So what are your own, how has been the revolution for you? What do you think about the whole thing?
So there is contemporary fashion, and we have owned it. African fashion is flamboyant. Okay. We as Nigerians are flamboyant. We are extra. And so I think that's the major thing for us. And so everything we do, we take it extra, even more than the originators. Right. So yes, I see where you come from, where you say we even overdo more than the people who started this whole fashion thing. But it's a personal thing. Fashion is very personal and very expressive. So you'll see that fashion is interpreting what the individual wants to communicate. So for someone who is flamboyantly dressed, it could mean that person is confident or happy. And then for another person, it could just be the person is modest. And that really speaks to that person's innate character.
Okay.
So for me, that's what fashion really is.
I like that you said it has to be personal to
Yeah.
the person. So, you know, some people would redefine what decency means. As a law student, I used to hear that long skirt was too long to be decent. But the rule was to be dressed decently.
Right.
And so, how would you say this scantily dress fashion flair for a person? How would you say it interprets a person's expression? Is it confidence, or is it just, you know, something on our face? Because recently the First Lady was addressing Africans and saying, this is not who we are. We are not at the MET gala every time where, how would you say scantily dressed women? What would you say?
What do they express, or what do they portray?
Yes.
So again, I say it's individual. So people are communicating different things. Mariah whispered insecurity. So yes, for some people, their insecurities actually come across when you see them scantily dressed. And for some other people, it's not that they're insecure per se. They probably just want to go with a trend and want to feel, there's this thing called fear of losing out. I don't want to lose out of this trend that is going on. Me too, I will wear it. Me too, I will do my own. Me too, I will give them. You know? So,
Giving them, eh?
So that could be it for some people. There's another thing called personal sense of style. Some people have, Auntie Annie is not here. She has a personal sense of style. So when you see her, you know that she's going to give you the bangles, the colors. She will match the laptop with the shoes. We see that all the time. So there's another thing that is called personal sense of style. Some people are scantily dressed as a matter of their personal sense of style. Maybe they want to show off their skin. I don't know. But it's a personal thing. I wouldn't say it's very African. But like I said again in the beginning, Nigerians particularly, when they copy and overcopy. So they see that, okay, this has gone well in the West, and they want to be like what they've seen on their screens. And then they just, you know, do that and replicate that. But I wouldn't say it's very African. But then again, some people will argue with you and tell you, if you go back in the days of different cultures, if you watch even the Igbo films where you see the maidens, and they will do their stuff like so and tie this short.
Very sexy.
Yeah, and they'll put the beads.
We see it. An Igbo woman, Igbo people will know they dress well.
No, they dress well. I'm talking about the maidens. If you notice my choice of words, the maidens, the unmarried maidens, when they come for all that, their traditional dance and stuff. And it's also prevalent in some other African cultures as well. So maybe that's it. I don't know, but that's just my own view.
I know that you do more than just in your introduction, and I know you do real estate anyway.
Right.
And it is, you're doing different things, and as women, people always make it look like, oh, you are jack of all trades, you are master of none, or they will talk about the fact that you're doing, it would affect your ability to be a good parent or manage your home, or be a good wife because your hands are full. So I'd like you to share with us how you manage your multiple talents and multiple streams of income, and how you still maintain how you manage your marriage and family even with that.
Okay, talking about marriage, I will say I've been very lucky, because it's not my doing per se, and I've got a husband who is very considerate and supporting. Hey, babe, I know you're watching. So I'm thankful for that. And by nature, I'm just someone who cannot sit down. By nature, I'm someone who, when I think something, when the idea drops, I've got to see it materialize. I've got to see that I can create it. I've been able to juggle this. I don't know whether it's my nature, but I would say I've had a very good support system. That's something people ignore a lot. You can't do it all by yourself. I can't do school run and then run to the office and then do sketches and then run to the site, because indeed I'm doing all of these things on a day-to-day. I'm managing a site. I am attending to my clients. I am, you know,
managing tailors,
doing virtual consultations. Yeah. I am at places like this, maybe representing myself or the brand. But you can't do it all by yourself. So you do need a support system. And that's one big thing I would say people should consider if and when they have to build a career or, you know, be at work and be present.
Okay, so I want to ask, how affordable are these your wares?
That's all about the money.
I've got to the place with
fashion is expensive. I don't understand.
Especially the African.
Your fashion is expensive.
So how affordable? Because compared to the ones that they bring in from China, is cheaper. So how do you want us to be able to
afford this? Yes. Bespoke fashion is expensive. Custom dresses are expensive. However, I would say the fashion industry has evolved in Nigeria. We have a lot of ready-to-wear designers. Yeah. Particularly myself, I have a ready-to-wear brand. I have the couture and bespoke brand. Why? Because I see that not many people can afford couture or custom.
For us,
yes.
Oh, I just realized that Anima wasn't even okay. Yes.
Yes, she wasn't, and we actually made something for her. Yes.
Wow.
So couture is expensive. It takes not only that, you have to make out time to measure the person, create that outfit to suit that person. A lot of times we have to embellish, and embellishment is done by hand. So if you see a dress, if you see a dress that is filled with crystals, for example, the dress that Kende Bankole wore for the AMVCAs, where she won her Best Actress award at the AMVCAs. If you see that dress, it was hand beaded through and through. So it was just a plain fabric, and we hand beaded everything.
That was you?
Yes,
you made that dress?
Yes. That
was I'd like to see that.
To get that dress.
Get that dress on TV, and I just said that. You made that dress?
Yes.
Oh, and she won an award. How perfect. Like, man, congratulations. Perfect.
Thank you.
Oh,
thank you.
Who else did you dress?
I dressed Tana. I dressed Tana. She was also a nominee for Best Supporting Actress.
She wore blue, right?
Yeah, she did wear blue. She did a old Hollywood theme, and we had this fall around her with a blue crystal dress.
I think I saw that.
Yes,
I did.
We did not know that.
Beautiful.
Yeah,
they were really nice. So there's something I wanted to talk about, the business side of this, the number of people who get employed. Because when you spoke about that hand bidding, hey, it's there's one just small kimono that I said they should bid. It took a long time, and the lady was saying that they don't have enough people bidding, and there were some events, but it is so detailed.
Yes.
How many? What's the potential employment opportunities that comes with investing more in fashion? Yeah.
Right. So, of course, fashion is already employing a lot of people. The tailors, the embellishers, even the people who get to sell these things in the market are employed by fashion.
True.
Because if the fashion industry will dwindle, their market will be affected.
The market,
yes.
The fabric sellers.
The demand will be, exactly. So fashion indeed employs a lot of people. Speaking about the embellishers, they do a lot of work because you pick, these beads are so tiny. And then you see a dress with, 1 million beads on it.
How do they do it? How do they do it?
With your needle and your thread.
Yes.
There's a machine to stone.
Right.
So there's a machine that puts on the crystal stones that have the glue at the back.
Yeah.
But then that's not what we even use as often. That too is detailed.
Yes.
But we don't even use that as often. What we use are beads that you pick with a needle and then you sew on. So yes, couture comes in quite pricey.
But the problem with couture, if I can say, is that the inability to wear it again. I mean, it's so annoying. Look at see BC now. See how gorgeous she
looks so
the stuff on BC's outfit.
Right.
Was that individually done?
See you.
Yeah. This is Marital. This is Marital. And that's Tokwe. But Tokwe, you've made good use of this dress.
No, I've worn the dress. I've worn that dress.
You've made good use of that dress. Yes. It's very beautiful, and you see even the styling is another sector in the fashion industry. So there's one thing to do fashion and then there's another thing to do styling. Let's take Nima for example. She has her dress on and then she has this pretty scarf and then she has a scarf underneath that scarf. And then she put on a shoe. I saw the shoe from there. She put on a gold, a transparent shoe with gold studs. Yes. That's where the styling comes in. How do you put it all together for it to make sense?
And I had to put
this thing, Nima, you pay makeup artist, you pay photographer, you pay fashion designer,
videographer,
you pay stylist, you pay videographer, who come and do the video and everything.
So let's even talk about the mindset behind styling. So today, I'm hosting an event. 3 of my friends have been elevated to the position of a high court judges.
Wow.
And so I'm hosting
them,
doing the MC for the event that we put together. And I was thinking, how do I look? I don't want to go as lawyer. The whole thought process.
So you see, it's a thought process, right?
Yes. Right. I'm matching, finding these outfits, matching. So what would you say should be at the back of a person's mind when you style someone?
Let me let you pause because I have to go on a break. When we come back, we'll look at your pictures, we'll answer that question. Your photos from your photo shoot, I'd like to see those dresses. And carrying this dress, for those who didn't see it, we have to see it.
Yes.
Stay with us.
Okay.
We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.
So, have you ever wondered what happens behind the curtains of a man's mind? Or perhaps you're one of those who wonder what men talk about when they gather. Well, here goes. Imagine what it takes to put together the perfect cocktail. Or maybe mocktail. We need a bit of sports, a sprinkling of current affairs, some very deep topical issues, and last but not the least, a healthy dose of grumbling of those we love to hate. And yes, you guessed it, women. So, if you catch the drift, then you're onto something. We will provide you with the right insights into most of your curiosities, right here within this beautiful cocktail we call the Black Table. So, have you ever wondered what happens?
Doubt and fear doesn't occur at the canvas, it shows in the canvas. It shows the conation of raw ether material slabbed, stroked and molded at a pace provided by the doubt and fear. Every move way in the struggle of one to the other, merging the past to the present, brushstrokes of colors seen but not known. For when the wailing stops, the pieces settle down in abject beauty erected for a century of a century. Speaking, advocating, protesting as the arts are meant to be.
Thanks for staying with us. We're still here with Sophia. Talking about fashion, bespoke dressing, how long does it take? Because if a client comes to you today, do you need like a month, 2 months, or how? I mean, you know, the Nigerians, we like last minute, like tomorrow, someone like me, I'll forget about the event. It's the day before. I start thinking, oh my goodness, I don't have a dress. I'll start looking for last one. How long do you really need to get a proper dress done?
So it depends on what the event is and who is wearing it. Okay. I say who, meaning for a celebrant, you want your dress to be as detailed as possible. So you don't want all those last minutes running around because mistakes can happen. So for celebrants, I'll say 2 months. Even longer, depending on the kind of dress. For example, the dresses I use for my birthday shoots, the peacock dress, which was the blue and green dress. I started that dress in February. And the birthday shoots, you know, was in, I had those pictures just on Saturday. So that dress took months to make. So it depends on the kind of dress. For Ashwebi styling, which is the regular Owambe that we attend every Saturday, maybe that will be 2 weeks, 3 weeks. Your dress will be done, but depends on what you're doing.
So I want to talk about photo shoots. I'm always doing photo shoots for my birthday every year. Even when some years, I'm not going to do photo shoot this year. Last minute, I'll just end up doing photo shoots. But I noticed when you were doing our anniversary shoot, this is our 10th year anniversary shoot.
Right.
And when you were planning this shoot for us, you were functioning as a stylist as well as a fashion designer, and you were thinking of each person. Some people do not have the time to think about, what's the color I want to wear? How do you support people in making their memorable moments even more cherishable by the fashion, how they look and all of that?
So that's the styling. That's where styling comes in. So if looking at the pictures again, you'll see that, and if you recall, I was trying to work with everybody's personality.
Yeah, I remember.
Because if you give a client a dress they can't pull off, they will be so uncomfortable. They will not be happy with you. They will be so uncomfortable. So I'm working with the colors. What color can this person pull off? Some people don't wear bright colors. Some people will tell you, I don't wear red. Some people will say, I don't wear white. Some will say, I don't do black. So you have to be able to know, okay, what colors can this person pull off? For example, a lawyer, for example, lawyers always are in black and white. If I'm styling a lawyer, I don't want to do black and white because it's like you're wearing your uniform. Yes. So I want to take you out of your comfort zones for you to look different, especially if it's a celebration, for example. And basically, all of those things, the personality of the person, you talk about colors, you talk about shape, body type, you talk about their comfort level, because sometimes bespoke clothes can be uncomfortable. Let's not even go to that conversation.
Somebody was doing a wedding when they enter the car, they have to be moving. I mean, why do you have to do that?
Why do you have to suffer like that?
Yes. Why must we suffer?
Let's talk about body type. So you see this, what I order versus what I get.
Oh, please.
I know this. I will be wondering, you don't see the body.
You don't have the person's body. Your whole stomach is.
So, dear clients and friends, style yourself for your body. You see someone who has had work done on their body, and you know that your own body is still struggling after 5 children, and then you go and harass the tailor or the designer, and you say, this is what I ordered. And the person has done their best to give you, what they can in your own body. But you want another. You are not ordering a dress now. You're ordering a body. And tailors and designers are not surgeons. Yes. There is so much that a corset can do. The corset mostly helps to take in the waistline from the side bones. It helps to cinch in this part. Not really suppress the tummy. It can't
to bring out the figure
deflate.
But someone they even overdo it, you now see the person.
The person will be swollen.
So back to MVCA or some photo shoots, you see they've squeezed the waist so much, and what would you say is inappropriate in terms of dressing when your entire everywhere is outside? You don't have the chest to wear some outfits, or you don't have we've discussed stomach, but what would you say is inappropriate in terms of dressing that you say, no, this is poor styling?
So much from choosing the wrong dress for the wrong body type to choosing to volume. Sometimes some volumes are just unnecessary. That's Tana in a Fulani inspired outfit, right? That's Tana. Yeah, that was me. I worked with a stylist on this. I made the clothes, designed the clothes, and that's Mariah. That's Mariah in another Fulani dress, and that's me, my humble self,
that's so
in a peacock inspired dress. Yeah, in a peacock inspired dress.
We have to up with you, but I think these are really lovely.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Well done.
Beautiful concept, and it's good to be. You have to be very creative to pull off some of these things. How do you just think of this thing? Do you have to find pictures to put stuff together? How do you
okay, let me tell you the inspiration behind the peacock dress. So while I was making that dress, I did not want to do the traditional corsets. I did not want any shine on that dress, and I just thought I love blue and green, and I wanted to harmonize those two. And the picture that came to me immediately was a peacock. I remember in my very, very early days growing up, my father had this peacock in his compound, and in the morning it will do and I remember the blue and the green colors so vividly. Wow. And I thought I will harmonize this and create a dress that embodies the peacock, and that's how I came up with that.
We have to wrap up with you, but I really wanted to see that came in the bank list before. I guess we can.
Right. I didn't get it.
Nice. Well, well done. Congratulations.
Thank you.
It's always good when you do that kind of work and the person that wins an award that puts you on the stage. Like, oh my goodness, that's my work, you know.
Yeah, so proud of her on her work on Sister.
Well,
yes. Proud of her.
So that is all we can take on this segment. When we come back, we continue with the show. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your view will be right
Entertainment
back.
to me is everything. Entertainment is surrounding myself with loved ones, family, watching some good television shows, TV series.
So, have you ever wondered what happens behind the curtains of a man's mind? Or perhaps you're one of those who wonder what men talk about when they gather. Well, here goes. Imagine what it takes to put together the perfect cocktail. Or maybe mocktail. We need a bit of sports, a sprinkling of current affairs, some very deep topical issues, and last but not the least, a healthy dose of grumbling of those we love to hate. And yes, you guessed it, women. So, if you catch the drift, then you're onto something. We will provide you with the right insights into most of your curiosities right here within this beautiful cocktail we call the Black Table.
As a great place to work. Over the past few years, we have transformed our workplace into one which is respectful, caring, rewarding, and provides great benefits to all our 500 employees. We thank our team for giving us the chance to show that partnership between employer and employee really works. TVC Communications, officially designated as a great place to work, and now the only broadcasting and media company, not just in Nigeria, but throughout continental Africa, to be fully certified. TVC Communications, a great Nigerian company, a great Nigerian place to work.
I'm Mariam Lunge. I'm a passionate environment advocate and a published author.
I am the founder of Celebration, a businesswoman, and a fashion icon.
I am a wealth coach and a real estate developer.
I am Amako Arakwe. I'm a corporate commercial lawyer and an entrepreneur.
Barkamu da warhaka. I am Ramatu Shehu Oyibo, an entrepreneur and a business coach.
I am the voice of an average Muslim woman, an hijabite, and a lawyer.
I am a polymath and a serial entrepreneur.
I am Marital Afolabi Brand, Managing Director, TVC Entertainment. I'm a media consultant, producer, and broadcaster.
The ladies of Your View are made of women from different professions, tribes, cultures, and religion. Join us every Monday to Friday as we share our views on topical and social issues.
Broadcast company has been officially designated as a great place to work. Over the past few years, we
of Nigeria. Benga Dainka, the first. OJ right here, 7 of 7, like you already know.
Benga right here, 7 of 7, like I'm beginning to know.
It's now time for the question.
You don't scare me one bit. Bata, I go drink. So.
Okay. So now one chance for enter. My first question. Do you remember the names of the winners of that edition of StarQuest?
Of course I do.
Why do you?
And I hate myself for this. Because I have this question for you. Final question. No. Where outside Nigeria and what year? Think you're the only one that can be wicked.
I am thinking because I know back in the day.
Don't think. Answer my question quick. You are thinking too much. I don't like it.
The UK.
Final answer. Okay. I said, God, please, let me to perform outside Nigeria.
Wait.
And God gave me a show in Ghana. Drink, my friend, drink.
Thanks for staying with us. We still have our guest co-host, a former sexologist and clinical couples counselor, also known as The Fixer. Welcome again to the studio, Dr. Tolulokpe Okoigari. Welcome back. So we can't have someone like you as our guest co-host and not talk about the kind of area that we know that is your forte, which is mental health, intimacy in homes, marriage, and how to help homes generally.
Right.
And there's this major conversation that we need to have concerning this word narcissistic spouse. I don't want to say men, because there are women and there are men.
Yes.
So narcissistic
men,
spouse versus the African culture. Because many will say what you paint as narcissist is what our fathers were. What we know, that's who we are, that's our culture. You know, how the fact that your husband would do things or your wife would do certain things. I mean, that's who we are. So how do we draw the line? How do we define narcissistic spouse to an African man?
So it's okay to say that, you know, we say it all the time, in quotes, we are not well. Africans are not well mentally. And this is part of the things that we are talking about. Because narcissism is rooted in our culture. Wow. Yes, it is rooted in our culture.
Not everybody knows what narcissism is.
You see, it's always difficult to define, but I'm just going to give you a simple definition. Narcissism is lack of development of the emotional sphere of the brain. Is a lack of that could be a bit confusing, but that's a simple way to define it. It's a lack of the development of the emotional part of the brain. It's not necessarily maturity. It's not knowing how to act in certain situations. It's the fact that you need somebody to be sad for you to be happy. It's the fact that you need to control other people for you to feel good about yourself. It's the fact that you don't know how to negotiate. You cannot have conversation. It is either you are at this extreme end or you are at this extreme end. It's either you are not able to express yourself and then you are angry. And then you are acting up. You are not talking. And they are saying, Daddy, can we talk? And you don't want to talk about it, you know, because you are trying to avoid conflict because you don't know how to manage it. So you would rather be keeping malice and be acting up. Or you just burst out, like, don't do it, don't you know. So staying in the middle and being able to negotiate, you don't have that capacity. So it's a whole lot of so it's emotional sphere of the brain. But it is lack of ability to be able to manage, you know, relationship with yourself and with other people.
So well, in my own layman's understanding, because I don't have the science knowledge of it, narcissism for me is the imbalance, you know, to be able to see things and put other people's interests above yours when you have conversations. So as you said, I will agree to some extent. We are very well in Africa, but I will agree to some extent.
If I will not let that
fly. I will never let such a statement fly. We are well in Africa, but we agree to some extent that, you know, certain practices are just, shows that some cultures that we have are just narcissists. How do you suppress somebody if you don't have certain excuses and say, Bashe Sheni, and that's how we do it? You know, when you want to coerce someone, and it's always against a gender. So my apologies again, because this is a women's show, but this is not what my intention is not to attack the male gender. It's usually to manage the women, to box them. You know, you tell them, it's women that we do the Olokpo work. Women that we go to the something. Anything you want to get women to do, you justify it. Now you hear that it's a man's work to do strength work, farm. But in the days, my grandmother had to farm. She had to farm. So how do you explain the inconsistent rules per time when it comes to a person? Is it not just to suppress that person and make the person conform to do whatever biddies you have?
The thing is, narcissism is, so if we are saying everybody is narcissistic, narcissism is a mental disorder. We should just not joke with it. And that is why it's not something we can just play with. It's that everybody, and that's why I say we are not well, because it's a mental issue. And it's so common because it's rooted in our upbringing. Is the way they were raised. They didn't know. See, if you have a narcissistic partner, you are trying to change him. You are fighting the lost battle. And that is why a lot of people are frustrated in their marriage. You can't change him because he doesn't even know what he's doing. He doesn't have the capacity to see. That is a major problem.
But you see, we can't then keep breaking up homes of stuff. You've got, yes, he's narcissistic or she's narcissistic. We can manage it like that because that's how we are in Africa. We just because you know why? It's my own personal happiness better than mine.
I'm going to take it further and bring it back. Somebody was talking this morning. In fact, my husband was talking about one politician, I won't mention, and said he's power drunk, that he likes power. The way he acts, you know, he was talking about that person. And I'm like, you think this thing is normal? Right? You don't think this, because it talks anyhow. It's not normal. And then when you go and look at this person, and then there are stories that people talk about, you know that this person is not acting right. And so when we are saying that we just need to deal with it, we are going to keep moving in cycle. Your politician, the person that will lead you, your husband, your pastor, everywhere you go, you are meeting this problem because we are not dealing with it. You cannot be narcissistic and raise a functional child. It's not possible. The children might look okay, but they are damaged, sort of.
What are the traits?
Hey, that's a very deep.
What's the question? What do we consider?
That's a very deep.
Because the child might just thrive well in life and.
Thriving. So that is also relative.
It's not about money.
Thriving is not about money.
No, I'm not talking about.
If a child is thriving, you are saying a child is thriving. For example, a child is in a school. And in a class, even you know that, maybe for teenagers, acceptance is very important for them. And then there are 20 in class. And 19 people are saying, let's go and do this thing against this teacher. And one child is saying, I'm not going to join you. That is a very healthy state of mind for a child, which is very difficult, especially for a teenager. So that kind of a child, you can be saying that is a child from a dysfunction, from a functional home that knows her worth, and against even what the environment, everything is saying, she can stand. And when she won't bully, and she will not be bullied.
That's powerful. Because we just treated a story of a boy that was killed in the what's the name of that school?
Ajayi
Crowther School. And the fact that you have kids that are surrounding and bullying, and some are even watching. Even though we discussed bullying several times on this table, and it's part of the fact that many of these children are from dysfunctional homes.
That's why our schools are in trouble, especially secondary schools. They are in trouble because they are bringing together a bunch of children from dysfunctional homes. Where do you see functional homes? Where the father is narcissistic, the mother is an enabler? Where do you see that?
So when we label, I'm always wary of labeling situations or labeling people, because sometimes when we give it that label, people now, they expand into the identity you have given them. So if I say, oh, you're being ungrateful, then the person will be like, I'm an ungrateful person. Now, let me take it up and be an ungrateful person. If you say that I'm selfish, I'm selfish, let me do the selfishness to the best. So I'm wary of labeling, but I have seen that there was a particular situation that someone was explaining to me, and of course I didn't want to label, but another person listening said the person in question is a narcissist, that every time we are having a conversation, even when everybody agrees that this person is wrong, the person will find a way to make it look like all of you are not normal, that the person is the only right person. And every time, like the person does not admit they are wrong, never apologizes, and even when they apologize, there's always a plan behind the scene. When you find yourself in a relationship with someone that you just cannot understand the person's emotional or what is going on in the person's head, how do we start helping such people in that situation? And if you are raising a child and you're thinking the way this child is behaving is not, I'm doing my best, but I don't know what to do. How do we help them become functional human beings, understanding their emotion, be able to deal with good and bad, and still be balanced?
That's why we're having this kind of conversation, right? So we need to be aware, mental health awareness. We are saying it all the time, that mental health is not mental illness. But are we really even doing what we are supposed to do as individuals? Are we aware, enough to know what this mental health really is? If you have a narcissistic husband, for example, and it's not like labeling the men anyway, it's more, according to research, is more common with men, So I've seen, and because I see a lot of clients, I see these things. I see it all the time. So it's okay to say, you know what, these things are existing, like seriously. But I also feel like people are making a lot of mistakes when they just, as soon as they don't understand you, they just say, this person is a narcissist. So, so to answer your question, I feel like there should be more self-awareness as individual. There should be more understanding as to what mental health is, and then we need to start talking to counselors and therapists. We can't do life without this. The person you are talking to, like there's a way I normally describe it. The brain is factory fitted, so it's like a hardware. And the person met you when the person is 25. The brain is formed. And then you are waking up and you are telling the person to think otherwise. He doesn't know how to think otherwise. Yes. So you really need to understand that you can't change this person. There might be need to turn even in therapy. It's very difficult to deal with narcissist clients. You will struggle.
Can we know can we know these narcissistic traits? Let's even know them.
I mean, we mentioned some of them.
See them, we'll be able to identify them.
It's difficult to identify them. But one of the things that you can notice is they can love bomb. They will love you and you'll be thinking, is it possible to love human being like this? The reason why they are loving you, and they are the type that, when they go out with you, that's my wife. That, you see, that's what they don't want is what they think they want. Now, they want you, they like you, so they're always going for, let's use men, because of course, more men, they're always going for upwardly. So in fact, I feel like, I normally say, is there something in the brain of narcissists that could make them to see a woman that this one will be big later? So they like to pick women that they feel like they're upwardly mobile. It's not like they can see your future, that you are going somewhere. So they pick you young, right? And they pick you when you are just starting. And then when you are with them, they begin to tell you, I made you. It makes them feel good to say that to you. The reason why, so if they are able to suppress you, you will not be what you think you want to be. But because of also, so they are very attracted to strong personality. So when they get attached to you, they now want to suppress you. Yet they still like that so they don't know what they want. So they are confused about, but because you are strong, you will always come out, God help you. Yeah. And then you are self-aware. You always come about. When they are looking at you, they are very insecure looking at you. Control is power.
I don't want to agree that, it's a formed behavior or a formed brain condition. I want to believe that it's a mindset that is not bringing issues.
Yes, now that's what I mean. You develop, like I said. When I say lack of let me quickly say, when I say lack of development of the emotional sphere, when you were born, your brain is tabula rasa. There's nothing. You develop emotional sphere by saying something, maybe they accuse you wrongly. And you can say, Mommy, I didn't do that. For a lot of our men, when you want to talk, they tell you, shut up. Don't talk. They are accusing you wrongly. You cannot complain that I didn't do it.
Yourself.
You can't defend. You can't negotiate. You can't explain. So how do you become an adult and learn how to communicate? So when I say emotional sphere, it is parenting. It is background. It's culture.
Let's take a boy to his childhood now, for instance, and he's before his parents. How should they respond in order to bring up someone who is not narcissistic to things? Let's, for instance, who took this thing? It's me, it's not me, it's you. You know, our parents will confront you directly. It's you, I think it's you. You know, how do you raise that child so that you don't...
I remember something. Somebody even said, they will not, you are the one that accuse, you know, then they will move to the brain. Even you too. Then they will join you with what you did.
And all of us. Somehow culture
enables it. It is cultural.
Yes,
now,
parenting
is deep. And you need to, I think the solution is just to be self-aware. The solution, because in a lot of cases, I see this, I see my clients, and they say, oh, I'm not like my mom. You are, when you describe your mom, you are just, recently, just like a few weeks ago, my sister took me a video as I was walking, and you were like, Tolu, I've always been saying, you walk exactly like Baba. My father died like 10 years ago, and I walk exactly like him at close to 50. Do you know what that means? So we pick up all of this as little as the way you walk unconsciously. So unconsciously, you are whom you are. You don't even know. It's in your subconscious, driving your behavior, and you are raising your children in response to your trauma.
There's a very, and I'm putting myself on the spot. You know, I was just thinking about it. I was analyzing my dad. On my birthday, my friends came to the house, family, children everywhere. I didn't know when my dad came back from church. My dad came back from church, went upstairs to the room, slept, called them to bring food for him. I asked him, did he eat cake? He said he ate cake, he ate food, he drank. He did not want the noise. He wasn't bothered by it. He went upstairs and slept. And then I looked at my husband, I realized that I have married my father. Because the world can be breaking down. He shouts. Be like, why are you angry? Like, so you are still angry about what happened yesterday. He does not put anything in his mind. Check his BP forever low. He would not worry himself. And unconsciously, it was not like I was looking for these traits in a man. But suddenly I have married someone that is
familiar.
That is familiar. How do we break that chain? How can people not repeat what they are familiar with? Because there are things we're familiar with we don't like, but we end up doing the same thing. Somebody
victim of that.
Somebody posted something that, how many of you have said exactly what your mother said to insult you or to call you out? When I slap one head. Or we've said some things that it shocked us to say it because we've heard our parents say it or our neighbors say it. How do we break that?
You know, before I ask how do we break it, I will talk about a simple situation of one of my clients. You know, if you tell his wife to put her hand down and tell him to put it on top, he'll be doing like this. And then he'll be shaking because he just doesn't like touch.
Oh my God.
And then some people will be saying, that's why I don't use love language for my clients. You'll be saying, my love language is touch. The person you are dealing with, the brain cannot touch you.
Wow.
The brain doesn't know. And when I started, and this lady is saying, I'm done with this wedding, 2 years, you are done. Like, when I started talking to the guy, so cool guy, and he was like, Dr. Tolu, something was coming to mind as, in session, and she said, I remember what my mom used to say, ma lo mommy, in Yoruba, why they were growing up. Ma lo mommy.
I say it all the time.
So it has registered somewhere in his own brain.
So now, back to your question.
Please, can you translate it?
Ma lo mommy, don't go. Okay. Now, the dangerous part of this thing is, the thing you see, a lot of times we do things in sometimes I even feel like it's better to even fight, not like physical, like argue in the presence of the children than to say, I've never seen my dad and my mom argue. Because when you guys are fighting, you are not talking to each other. Daddy is sleeping on the couch, Mommy is bony. You don't see each other passing and you are, touching and look at you. You are teaching the children the dynamics of how to relate with each other. Now, the problem with this is there is no explanation as to what is going on. So it's going straight to the subconscious.
Software. That's been software programming.
It's going to assuming you have explained, all they can say is because mommy and daddy is fighting. Okay, when you are fighting with your wife, you can be moody, but this one, they didn't see you fighting. So they just saw that this is the dynamics. So if you are saying, how do we deal with this? You need to go to the subconscious. That is the solution.
Find it.
And I think therapy and beyond therapy is the solution.
We'll come to the issue of therapy in a second because I'm going to talk about
self-awareness.
Let me take this call from John. Thanks for calling, John. Oh, I'm sorry I lost that call. I wanted to, because there was a message I saw. I said that, let me just summarize it. So she bought a salon. Before she even got married, she has a salon, she sells a business. And so after marriage, she continued her business. And she told her husband that she wants to expand this business. She only has 6.3 million now. Please, I need more money. So the man takes that information, comes back to her the week after and says, borrow me 5 million for my business. And she's now saying that, so she was crying that, no, that I just told you I wanted to expand my business, give me money.
Don't give me money, you want to collect it.
So he went to go and report to his mom. His mom came to her, why can't your husband be asking for money? Because you're not a good wife, because we're trying to build the business. Your husband's business is not for your benefit, it's not for the whole family. Why are you doing like this? You have the money.
He's not sure our business plan.
Now, the question is that narcissist one, or is that an African man taking charge in the home saying, what is yours is mine? Let's put money together because you have a salon. I'm about to build a multi-millionaire business that's going to benefit you. Sacrifice this one that you have and put it in the pot so that we all can so our future can be better. So a wife is thinking, how do I help my husband or myself?
His address.
Husband and mother. I don't understand.
Okay, mother is saying help your husband.
Yes,
it's for the family.
So the thing is, it's difficult to say that, in this situation, it's because the man is narcissistic, and we need to put things in perspective to understand their situation, to be able to know what is going on. It's possible that the business, maybe they can sit together, and you know what? Your salon business, how is it looking? What are the prospects? How is the future going to look? This new business, what are the prospects? How is the future going to look?
That's not what happened, though.
That's not when she told you. I'm saying that if they have done it that way, then they can weigh the pro and cons and say, okay, and if they weigh the pro and cons, and the man feel like, the man has capacity to recognize that this salon is better, then let me put my own. And then they both can say that, okay, this one is actually better. It's a different bugger. But for a narcissist, that money that you are getting is looking at you like, you start raising your hand. Small girl that I married yesterday will now become big girl.
That is that's what you like to be.
That is
that's the other way. But
it can be the other way. But in a lot of cases,
let me go on a short break because we still need to dissect this thing properly. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your view will be
So, have you ever wondered what happens behind the curtains of a man's mind? Or perhaps you're one of those who wonder what men talk about when they gather. Well, here goes. Imagine what it takes to put together the perfect cocktail. Or maybe mocktail. We need a bit of sports, a sprinkling of current affairs, some very deep topical issues, and last but not the least, a healthy dose of grumbling of those we love to hate. And yes, You guessed it. Women.
Thanks for staying with us. We still have the fixer trying to see if we can help us fix some marriages right now. Nima.
This one, this particular one. So you come home, you did not show me a business plan the day before. Just as soon as the woman is saying, can you, I need to upscale my business with this amount that she had saved. African women, they collect. And she's telling you, do not bring it. Now come back the next day and say, that money you have saved, which you have just given a good reason for, you should go and bring it. And then he goes back and tells his mother, who then comes to tell you a good wife behavior is to give him that plan. What you must address it.
You see, this woman, the woman herself needs to know her worth. You see, a lot of time, when you are with a narcissist, in a lot of cases in that family, everybody take up roles. Even the children take up roles.
Yeah.
In a lot of cases, the woman that is married to a narcissist is always an enabler. So you are the problem. The person you should be dealing with is yourself. I'm not going to put my money together and then you come. It's not like we are sitting together, we are weighing our pros. You just come. I'm not giving you my money. You need to understand who you are.
But a spouse should be open.
Says who?
You can have a conversation with someone and say, I would love to support you.
Exactly. It's not fighting, it's communicating.
I would really love to. But this money, I've saved it for this particular business.
I believe in my dream,
and
in what I want to do.
You should back your load and go because you have not supported.
So why? What are you doing? The person
that was what happened.
The person does not deserve you.
Because how many sacrifices will you
make? We have a caller, Festus. Yeah, so I mean, that's where I'm going to right now. Solutions. The Festus from K2E Live.
Yes, I'm alive. Good morning, everybody.
Good morning.
Now I realize, where people have problem in marriages. Yes, with what is being said. A woman can be submissive to a man, but her glory or her destiny can never be submissive. The destiny of that woman can never be submissive. The glory you have can never be submissive. And that is where the problem comes if you are married to this type of man. Because he want to dominate you. Whereas what he has in his entire this is not as much as what you carry being a wife. So that is where problems come, and then they say they want to divorce without knowing that this is the
Thank you, Mr. First. I'm having trouble hearing you. Because hard here. You see, let's go to solutions now. And I like Ramatu to also. You want to say something?
Well, yes, I want to ask. There's this tweet I want to read out, right? And I want you to help me understand it. It's from Solomon Bucci. He said, when we were still dating, my wife asked for my permission to go out with a long-time secondary school male classmate. Will you feel comfortable if I go out with him? Another instance was when her prospective housemate was going to be a man. Asking for permission in marriage is a common practice. It's a show of respect and courtesy. What do you think about asking for permission from your husband before going out? What do you think about that?
I don't know why you guys
asking for permission.
But I would just say it depends on the dynamics in that marriage.
Already existing.
It depends on the dynamics in that marriage. I'm not asking you for permission because I am not a human being who cannot make decisions by myself. Right? I'm asking you for permission because I don't even like that permission word. Exactly. Right? I mean, can we talk about it? Let's talk about it. What is permission? Let's talk about it. And we can respect each other. Right? So we can talk about it and you can give me like, oh, babe, this is not looking good now. Why not let's do it this way? And I'm like, okay, that makes sense. So it's not the same thing as...
So what if he says you can't go out?
You can't go.
You must have experienced it one way or the other. All of us in our marriage.
If you say I cannot go,
dress and
your reasons must be genuine.
At 40.
Yes.
Okay. Your reasons must be genuine reason can be that I don't like your group of friends you went to secondary school with. So this reunion, you are not going. And it's usually, but you know,
like I said,
because the tables can't be turned. You cannot tell a man where to go.
And let me say this. Let me say this. It is not every woman that you can do anyhow. It's not every woman. And in a lot of cases, like I was trying to say, we blame the men for this. You are the one that is enabling.
Yeah. Let me take this call.
You are the one that is making them to treat you. You are teaching them how you want to be treated.
Let me take Latifa from the door. Thanks for calling, Latifa.
Good morning, ma'am.
Good morning.
Good morning, everybody.
Good morning.
We can hear you. Go ahead.
Yes, can you hear me?
Yes, very clearly.
I love your program. You women, I'm proud of you people. Thank you very much. You see this matter of you people are talking about. I want to really tell the public that they should make men awareness. Men, sorry to say, 99% of Nigerian men and African men are not aware of so many things. They don't know how to treat women. They should make awareness because we women, we have many seminars that we go to. But men don't always have that time. Please help us to tell men that they should treat their wives well. They should stop saying the wife is shut up because at the end of the day, that problem they are running for, the woman is the one that is going to solve it. So please.
Thank you very much, Latifa.
Yeah. Thank you very much.
Dr. Tolu, a lot of women have gone out to seek knowledge, to know better, have information. But our husbands aren't interested. They feel like there's nothing there. I thought I got to learn all the
myself.
Yes. So a lot of men are not getting knowledge. They're not understanding. They don't know the importance of getting awareness, especially on your mental health. A lot of homes are being damaged because the mental stability of the adults there is totally dysfunctional.
Right.
So where do we go from here? How do we help people?
I think women should stop being, I think that's a very good way, actually. Women should stop being enablers, really. See, happy wife, happy life.
You have a broken marriage, but not an enabler.
No, exactly. They say happy wife, see, and in some cases, it also depends on your level of integrity, the kind of person you are, and all of that. That also speaks a lot to even your spouse. If, for example, you are the type, just to jump to what you said earlier, you are the type that you go out with your friends and you get there, you get drunk, and you get tomorrow if you say you are not going. But if you also have integrity and self-worth, there are certain things that your husband knows that, oh, my wife cannot do this, you know. But beyond that, women, I cannot be with you. I mean, when people come to therapy, this thing you are saying is very common. They kept saying, oh, my husband will not come. Dr. Tolu, can you call my husband? It's unethical. I'm not going to call your husband. If there's somebody your husband respects, tell the person to bring your husband to therapy. See, when the man has it up to here, nobody will tell him to come to therapy. More men are begging for therapy now than women in my practice. When the man, because a lot of women are becoming more aware. So they are not going to be enabling your toxicity. They're going to stand and say, you know what? I know what I want. I know what I deserve. And when you stand, it doesn't mean the marriage should break. It means that we should find solution.
No, so my husband had an event he wanted to go with the kids last year. And I said, you cannot take my kids. And he kept quiet. He did not tell me anything. When it was my turn to take the kids, he said, you two cannot take my kids. I brought the roof down. I said, they were locking me. Yeah, you want to chain me? You want to kinikon me? The argument, he laughed until January before he told me, did you not do the same thing?
Oh.
When I said, and am I being narcissistic?
I'll let you answer that question after
So that is actually not necessary. You can't determine narcissism by that. You can just be, because you are being the woman, you are the one taking care of the kids, you are the one that you are feeling like
she might thanks for calling.
Feeling like the man.
1 second, let me take this call. You're live. Go ahead.
Hello, Morayo.
Go ahead, sir. I can hear you.
Okay. All right. When all of you are still very young in your parents' home, you respect daddy a lot.
Yes.
Whatever daddy says, you obey.
Yes.
Now, you got married. You drop that daddy's name. You pick your husband's name. Then your husband automatically becomes daddy in the house.
Oh my God. Wow.
So whatever you want to do, you must take permission.
Hey.
It's cultural. Don't listen to that your guest. You must take permission. If you say don't go out, don't go out.
He says
if you got your salary, if they don't touch your salary, don't touch it. Because he has become the daddy. Because you are bearing his name now. You have dropped your own. Because your daddy tell you like that, you obey. So that is correct culture. So don't say what is not belong to. You can't be master in the house. The man is the head of the house. That is our culture. You can't change it.
Okay. Thank you very much, Mr. D.
Can I say something?
Let me let you.
Being the head, you see, I actually understand that. I believe that marriage is an institution. And every institution, there must be rules. But don't take dysfunctional rules. There should be leadership. In fact, when couples come for premarital counseling, these young couples, they will tell you, I asked them, I've seen a couple that the wife said, no, you can't be the leader of this marriage. I have to be the leader because what are you bringing to the table? Wow. So because you are a man, you are automatically a leader. Says who?
The Bible. The Bible tells you the head, the father is the head of the house.
The Bible describes the qualities that you need to have to be the head. You can't just say you are the head by virtue of the fact that you have. Let me not say what
by virtue of the biology. By virtue of the biology.
Let me tell you. Forget those things, they are working in the 70s.
The other things that Bible says. Add it.
Let me tell you.
You need to end that position. You cannot be.
Let me tell you what.
Yourself a leader.
Let me tell you what happened in my, and I've shared this story on the set before. There was a time that when I got married, my husband wasn't working, and you know, as a woman, you're doing all the work then in the beginning, the first few years. And one of the things that led my brain to change, that reset my brain, was when I went to a conference. I think it was your church. This staff was Mrs. Ibukwale Oshika was there, and she said something. And when I heard that thing, I held on to. She said, "What makes your husband a husband is not his ability to provide. Is a God-given role. It's a divine role that God has created for him. So don't judge somebody because of his ability or inability. He is the leader of the house." Now, I went home that day thinking, okay, yes, maybe some of the issues I'm having because at that time he wasn't working, but thank God I submitted myself to his leadership regardless. Eventually, God blessed him. He got a fantastic job, and he's fine even till today. So the point is that if we make every young woman feel as if, no, if he's not providing, you are missing this. That's not what I said. So let her clarify. Wait, let her clarify so that people can get it. So please clarify.
See, there are times that the woman, you see, life is in phases and stages.
Yes.
Sometimes the woman will be the one to have money. Sometimes the man might be the one to have money. You see, when there is understanding and a healthy dynamics, that is going to be the least of your problem. You're not going to know who has money or not. But notwithstanding, there are certain qualities that you need to possess to be called a leader. Yes. You don't leadership, you don't earn it. You don't deserve it, you earn it. You just don't wake up and say, I am a leader. See, I'm still seeing this client currently. She said, you cannot be the leader. It's not like it's behind the husband. Why are you, I'm the one feeding the children. It's not even just about the feeding. It's the fact that every decision that is to be made in that family, I made it. I put all of these things together. When we are applying for something, I apply for it. When they are calling for people, they call me first. So what makes you, she said, what makes you the leader? And that is the truth. You need to earn this leadership position. You just don't become a leader. And it's not about money at all. And let me just say this quickly. Our women, this money thing, we need to really wake up, and it's low self-esteem that makes you to think that, oh, I want to collect money from a man. I want to collect money. You don't know your worth. You know, people feel, why do we feel like men have to give? The man, you say, I can't cook, you are a slave queen, you are not cooking. You are not doing house chores. You are still not providing. Then what are you doing? Should the man die? So we need to understand that all these dynamics has to be balanced.
Let me take this call, so we'll hold it for a while. Good morning.
Yeah, good morning, everyone.
You're live.
Yeah,
Ibrahim.
Yeah, let me quickly say this. Thank you, Mariah. Thank you for what you just said not quite long about your experience. That when you went for a day star program, I think I heard well. Now the truth is this: scripturally, it has nothing to do with what you have as a man. As long as you're a man, you're a leader. As long as marriage is concerned, when you step out of marriage, that women can also be leaders. But when it comes to marriage in quotes, a man is a leader. A woman may have qualities of being a leader. That doesn't mean she is a leader. The man can actually give her space because of the qualities she has. Doesn't make her a leader. A good man can always tell the wife, seeing the qualities of the wife, or tell the wife, okay, I like you to stay in charge of certain things. Doesn't make her a leader. Life is wisdom, and once you lack it, disaster is everywhere. Concerning the question, I think I can't recall her name. There's something she asked that if I want to step out, can I get permission from my husband? We all know who we are married to. If we're married to a man that has wisdom, that is so aware it's important that wherever you're going to, you tell him that honey, I'm about stepping out. Is it possible I go? And once he gives you a go ahead, you should think and know, if my husband is telling me not to go, there's a reason for it. He may not tell you the reason, but if my husband is telling me not to go, there should be a reason for it.
That's the dynamics Dr. Tolu talked about. The dynamics. Based on the dynamics you have. Yeah, go ahead.
Now, there's something I think I like to said. There's a question she asked that's okay, fine. If my husband all of a sudden tells me that, okay, I should give the money thing. Yes, the money thing. I can't do this.
Okay, Ibrahim, let me pause you for a second. Nima has a question for you.
So, leadership is now, is it a gender role to be a leader? Because, initially when you started, you were saying a man is the head, is a leader. A woman cannot be. Can a woman have the qualities that you describe of a man in order to, to qualify as a leader in the home?
Okay, now, concerning marriage, as long as marriage is concerned, look, as long as marriage is concerned, the male is designed to be a leader as long as marriage is concerned. Now, scripturally, is the man. But because scripturally, the man is the leader.
Okay.
I'm not saying women.
Point taken, Ibrahim. Thank you very much.
So whenever we have this conversation, there's the ego of a man, or like, this positional leadership. The positional leadership is the lowest level, where they just give you a title and they say you are the leader, and then you ride on it. When you earn leadership, when you own leadership is all about being the smartest person. Sometimes the smarter you are as a man of the house means that you would say our financial decision, she can handle it. She's better than handling it. It's not about being brilliant. You are still leading by delegating to the most appropriate person in the house to handle. Yes. In my house right now, if we buy a new technology, the best person to handle it is Daniel. He will read the instruction. He will tell us how to use it. It does not make sense for me to be saying, I am the man, I am the woman, I'm your mother. I
think marriage is about teamwork.
The youngest becomes the oldest sometimes, because there's a specific role that young people, it happens in families where something happens and one child particularly takes full leadership. Right. Not just financially, you are there to care, you are concerned, responsible for everybody's care. People say, this one, she's the middle child, so everybody defers to you as the leader. So even though the firstborn is the one that is the leader biologically, by biology, but the person, somebody else takes that leadership role based on their ability.
Because of their and when men learn this and understand it, they will relax.
They will relax. It is not struggling. Exactly. It's that struggle that is the problem.
So it's important
that struggle that brings
viewers understand this, because I don't want anybody to think that we're trying to bash men. We're saying that you are the leader.
To repeat this thing she said, because I think this leadership thing, I wanted to disagree with the caller, but Tope captures it well.
Yes.
This leadership thing, you're a leader, and it is your ability to identify the innate qualities of everybody.
Exactly.
And build people on their strengths. So if as a husband, you're the leader, there's nothing demeaning of you to give the financial control of the house to the person with the acumen. Yes. So your wife is the one with the numbers. Me now, I cannot even add 2 + 2 to make 4. It's work.
And the main point of this thing is, if you have capacity somewhere, and somebody is saying, because I'm the all-in-law, I will not allow you to function, it will be affecting your mental health. Lack of expression will be making, and when it's affecting you, the marriage is going to be suffering.
The part I got from Tokwe's, that's one part you got. But the part I got from Tokwe's analysis is that even as a marriage, the man is the leader. Position is there. But there's still a part of that leadership that must be earned.
Yes.
So even regardless of what you have at the moment, is the ability, your character, the decisions you make, how you delegate, how you influence. These are the things that makes you earn it. So yes, you are giving you the road. You are the husband, you are the leader. No problem. But that leadership is earned over time. But what you do?
There's some decisions you will make. You see this question of permission or not permission. By the time a man has displayed a high level of intelligence and character, you don't have to tell me to ask for permission. Me myself, I will be seeking his wisdom.
Everything.
Because you have become the oracle of knowledge. I will be asking you, what do you think about this, my friend? If you say no, there's no basis for argument. And that displayed wisdom. Men need to self-develop themselves as well. Because the level, why it seems like women are not listening to them or women are being rude, is because women are taking their life into their hand. They are going for training, they are going for programs. They are exposed to a level of knowledge that men are dreaming of. So when we now ask you when we ask you for something and you are saying no, but you are not saying the no from a place of this. Socrates said this. The Bible said this. Islam said. There's a way you will answer the question that when you answer it, it is beyond all reasonable doubt that this is the reason this man is saying this. So please
let me pause you for a second because I'm told that we'll be cutting off for the 60th anniversary celebration. Nigerian Navy holds International Maritime Conference, so the TVC News will be cutting off to that on the news channel. But those of you who want to continue watching the show, you can watch it on YouTube, on GOTV channel 49, and on StarTimes channel 121. So we'll have to go off the news channel for a second. Let's take a few comments on social media, and we wrap up.
Afsa says, Nima, in every aspect of life, any other person that qualifies to lead should lead, be it man or woman. But in marriage, it's always the man. He can delegate according to capacity, but he remains the head. Mina says, be doing man is a leader and be tolerating nonsense, enabling narcissistic behavior. Learn to differentiate between a leader, a narcissist, and a man driven purely by ego. Oluremi says, in a home, where is the woman that wakes the man to pray and even lead the way to church? Say that man self go they claim leader.
Oh, okay.
Structure says, I pity young ladies where they follow in our opinion. Make una continue to they preach waiting and I know they practice for our home. If you listen to us, not selective listening, no. If you listen to this show from the beginning
with an open mind,
it is impossible for you not to have a happy marriage. It's like when I say impossible, possible.
The brain hears
if you listen to everything we have said on this show.
Yeah. So let me take this last for our final caller. Good morning. Oh, we lost that caller. So we have to wrap up very soon. I'd like you to touch on this issue of mental health because I know May. Is it May?
Yeah, May is mental health.
The whole month is mental health awareness month, and it's important for us to give you that opportunity to, because this story, all the topics we discussed really boils down to mental stability of any adult. Yeah. So, what's the theme this year? What are we trying to push for in mental health, and how?
So the theme for this year, mental health awareness month, is movement, moving more for mental health. So more like move yourself. Move your brain, move your body, move your spirit. Just move. Don't stay in one space. Just keep moving. And part of the movement is talking about the need, to take our mental health seriously. You see, when somebody is listening to this conversation, the way they even react to conversation like this depends on the state of their mental health. Right? So, and if there is a need for you to find yourself, to be more self-aware, and then seek for help, go for therapy, please do. And I don't know if I can mention that we are offering free therapy at Wellness Clinic. It's just a website, www.yourwellnessclinic. It's free. Yourwellnessclinic.org. It's free. So you can go there. It's free.
You see, we also want to support the issue of mental health because we realize that, see, what I like most about what we've heard so far is that many of us, we are all products of very dysfunctional homes. Yeah. And we've all just replicated that in different ways. Right. So many women are enablers, many men are narcissists, and they don't even know they are. Yeah. They wish they knew better, but they don't. So we're saying that the only way to fix the problem is awareness. Yeah. Know. Yeah. Find information. See what you're doing. Have conversation within yourselves. Right. And but how do we see? My only worry, Dr. Tolu, is that women who are enablers, that's the only option they have. The other option is leave. And if you leave, you're gonna have more dysfunctional children because you have a broken home. No. So that's the option. Let her respond. That's the option many people think they have. I'm going to have a broken home.
Sometimes raising a child as a single mom or a single dad is better than raising them in a dysfunctional marriage. That's the truth. They can do better with a healthier mom or dad than with a marriage that is dysfunctional, than in a marriage.
Sometimes what we fear most is what happens as well. Yeah. I was watching a movie and the guy said he struggled with disciplining his son. He was raising a narcissist based on his fear, and his son knew that my father is scared of losing me. So he prays on it until the man was willing to confront that fear and tell him, I'm going to deal with you regardless of the way you are behaving, thinking I'm scared of you. Both of us will have to resolve this together. Many women are scared of losing their marriage, so they don't deal with the situation. They become enablers in that marriage. You are scared of losing your children, you become enablers of their bad habits. Stop enabling bad habits.
Stop advising couple. You be a sheep, you be a lion. You be a lion, you be a sheep. We are not taught sheep now, they say na enabling.
God bless you. God will bless you. I hope you got that. Because they've told us we're sheep.
They told us.
They told us.
I remember the person on the mic that was telling me on my wedding.
Don't be
a sheep. I've been a sheep.
That's what I'm saying.
So we are all the enablers.
When they put you where you don't want to be, when they put you in a state where you don't want to, you can't be happy.
Don't be a sheep.
You can manage it because they said that my happiness is in my children in future.
Yes.
When I grow up and I see my children, I'm happy.
An unhappy woman that is raising
it's a sacrifice.
You are not raising healthy children when you are not happy. They are not getting the best. They are not getting the best.
And they are not outside.
Sometimes it's better to be in the hospital. Sometimes.
Because if you're getting treated,
they're
carrying sickness.
We have to go. We have to go.
You have to go.
Find out reality is very important.
Oh, plenty. Movie says, have we heard of Bewudani? Women turn the men to hardback. Leader says sometimes these so-called people that have gone to school are destroying the world. You all see the way Western culture has destroyed many lives. Somebody talked about the Holy Book and we laughed it off. And we are now challenging. Are we now challenging the creator? And I'm wondering, did you people watch this show?
They did not watch.
Okay, that is all we can take on the show. Thank you so much, Dr. Tolu.
Thank you.
It's always a pleasure having you on the show.
We didn't talk about sex.
Oh,
that's
don't worry. Let's talk about
a very important part of life.
When are you available? We'll bring you back again.
I'll come back.
We'll talk about it. We'll find a word for it. Do it nice.
Yes.
All right, that's all we can take on today's show. Hope you learned a few things as we have. Have a great day. We'll see you tomorrow. Bye for now.